Oh,
recording, or we just bullshit?
Actually, we just started.
Oh, really?
Kami's dealing with a cable mismanagement system, and that is blinding you. And my beard is growing in nicely, you know. It's like, apparently, okay. You know, we may or may not be skipping iWorld this week because we did an Oh Dear God long one this week, and really, there's nothing to talk about with Apple other than what we've already talked about and what we're going to cover
We
here.
can talk about WWDC predictions if you want, but, you know.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, you know, comments below. I'm going to try and get this. I'm debating about whether or not we even want to do it because I'm like, you know, there are no predictions we can make that haven't been made by 50 billion other people, and we're going to find out on Monday. I'd almost rather, I mean, it's y'all's call. If y'all want to do it, we can. But I'm almost thinking it might be better to just wait and, you know, do it actually knowing, you know, in a week. But
yeah, let's not try to predict the future. Let's just throw out a crystal ball for now, you know?
Well, I mean, we know Apple's going to have a cloud thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this whole
let me just say this. Let me just say this. U.S. federal government 2.0 ditches BlackBerry, embraces Apple. No, sorry. I don't care how many articles come out and say the government's going to embrace the iPhone over BlackBerry.
No. Here's the thing.
Their security network kicks major ass, period. And I can't wait until their phones get on QNX and their little playbook, which I think is a kick-ass thing as well, will be, you know, total QNX and...
Well, okay, that particular story is from Apple Insider, so it should be taken with a grain of salt. You know, like, if you read the article, you get, like, the last few sentences, oh, by the way, to save money, they're also using Gmail. You know, there's stuff
the government, like... Okay, I've worked with the government, that kind of government that's allowed to use Gmail.
Well, no, but see, no.
Okay.
No, yeah, no. See, that's the thing. Really, what this is, I equate this to the same thing behind, technically, if you look at the bureaucracy, our government hates diesel engines. Yeah, right. The military runs on diesels. It's, you know, our government runs.
I will say, like in the city of Houston, they did go to all Priuses.
Yeah, it's weird stuff like that. What this is, and I honestly see this going on in the government tech sector too. You know, because the government's not. It's like the high-end government. The military is using Android for obvious reasons. I agree with you. Higher-level security stuff is going to use customized BlackBerry solutions. And the reason I say customized is because one of the things higher level security...
Well, let me stop you. BlackBerry's encryption to their network is so powerful that other countries want to ban it because they can't penetrate it.
No, I know that. But the reason I say higher level is because one of the things that's required by DoD standards on higher level stuff is they have to actually take the hardware apart and make sure that there's no embedded spy or Trojan in it. Which, you know, even if BlackBerry's network is very strong and encrypted, they're not going to trust that for certain things until they've actually been allowed to inspect the actual hardware to make sure there's no built-in backdoor that bypasses all the encryption and everything else. You know, it's just the side, but that's higher level stuff. You know.
But did you also hear that BlackBerry is willing to open up their security? I read an article. It was maybe a month back, and I maybe have to reread it to be accurate.
And that's why I put that in here.
That they're going to open up their security to other providers.
No, see, that's why I put this in here, because I believe this if that happens. It's a rumor at this point. It's not fully confirmed, but BlackBerry's interested. And honestly, that makes sense to me for BlackBerry to do, because there's no reason BlackBerry can't offer that encryption to other devices via a software solution that restricts it to certain hardware MAC addresses. And basically, the administrator will add the device's MAC addresses from the other devices and so on and so forth. Why it can create an inherent chain of custody rule if your admin's not doing everything they should be. You know, if your admin gets social hacked and adds devices they shouldn't. But aside from that, I think that's actually a good move for BlackBerry because it will allow them to completely dominate this market. You know, if they allow it to function on other devices and integrate well, you know, you're still using the BlackBerry standard and so on and so forth. I think that I've been wanting them to do that, honestly, for about 18 months. You know, because I mean, they've made me change my position on that a little bit with things like the Playbook. But honestly, overall, they're just not making the same offering as everyone else, and I don't want them to go away. I like the security they provide. I mean, back in the day, they were the one who showed us. By the way, did you know that email can be secure? You know, it's little things like that, and I want to see that. You know, we'll see if they will. You know, I'm honestly more concerned about the fact that parts of our government will be using Gmail. I'm like,
Yeah. You want a sense of definiteness going through a company? Yeah. Sure.
Well, that just means anything I give the government, Google now has. You know, it's because when if they're doing that, I guarantee you that's going to be things like your DMV records and your, you know, little things like your Social Security records. You know, nothing of importance. You know, we can trust Google with that, right?
Social Security numbers on TV. That's not important.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't do much of. I'm not into centralized anything really. I don't know. I just distributive. While it may be slower in some regards, I just think the inherent model is far better than centralized computing.
Yeah. Although, one last thing, since you don't really want to cover Apple stuff, I don't know if you had anything to say on it.
I mean, I'm not going to go over.
Well, no. The one thing I do want to get on, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but the one thing I want to go over is just basically 2 cents on the iCloud thing. Since Apple has made a point of officially announcing it.
We don't know anything about it.
I know. Well, no. That's the thing I want to ask. So the speculation that everybody has.
Let's give me another ping, you know, or another.
Well, no. That's the thing. The speculation everyone has is that this is going to be a cloud offering from Apple. Personally, I may be dead wrong. You know, Steve Jobs may get on stage on Monday and say, Apple has solved hybridization of the cloud. He may do that. But given the type of company Apple is and the fact that they can't even get integration of their devices over your local network quite right, you know, you still have to do things like plug your iPhone physically into your computer to sync it instead of syncing it over your wireless network.
Well, as far as Macs are concerned, it's total integration. But yeah, as far as iPhone,
yeah, like they don't Macs, yes, but they don't fully integrate things like they could over the local
Macs
network.
even talk to Windows pretty well too. I mean, like my Windows 7 machine, which is right here, and then my Mac. They talk with each other all day long because I have programming stuff going on.
Yeah, no, well, but that's just TCP/IP. But you know.
No, but I mean, even within compatible files. And,
oh yeah, but it's like the
software programs that, you know, they keep it.
The ones that sync over like a database and share stuff. I know what you mean. But
a lot of great third-party integration with OS X on a Mac platform.
Well, no, but see, that's the thing. It's the thing.
It's not there on iOS.
It's third party, and I agree the tools are there. But see, that's the thing. I think these rumors about this iCloud thing being this, you know, cloud solution, whatever, I think they're wishful thinking. I'm just not seeing that at Apple. I may be dead wrong. All I was going to ask is, what do y'all think? Do y'all think I have my I Hate Apple hat on? Or do you think?
I do. I just think we should wait and see. That's how I'm playing it. I'm just gonna shut my mouth. I'll wait till the keynote, and if they don't deliver, then the world will hear my voice, and that's the end of it.
And next week I will either be complaining. Yeah, it's like I'm taking the riskier approach. I'm saying what I honestly think, and next week I can either claim victory as a prophet, or I can take my foot out of my mouth.
I can't do that. I can't do that because Apple has time and time again surprised me and also let me down. So I'm on a statistical basis, you must say. I'm still on the fence because Apple's let me down just as many times as it surprised me.
More often than not, the way in which Apple surprises me is in falling shorter than I expected them to. But that's it.
I want to get you on an iMac one of these days, and you watch. It's going to be like this evolution.
You say that until the first time I have to change that RAM, and when I have to service my own machine like I do other people who own iMacs, I
don't care what you get. I'll show you how to service it.
Anyway, yeah, you're going to convert me to the Apple religion. That'll happen. Anyways, Commodore, you have 2 cents to add on this?
Not really. Like, I think this whole cloud thing, it's just a buzzword, it's a bubble, remember the .com bubble, it's gonna be an investment thing,
yeah.
All the buzzwords and stuff, and eventually this is gonna pop,
Well, no, on that, it's exactly like the .com bubble, all you have to...
Commodore's saying that this, I don't think cloud is a bubble.
No, but what he's getting at is the investment thing. Honestly, cloud stuff right now is like the .com. Back in the .com bubble, I have a .com. Give me $100 million. Right now, you say I'm working on the next cloud solution. Here's your money, sir. Here's your money, sir. Go spend it all on your opening party. And literally, we're doing that again with cloud shit.
I'm not so sure I agree with that, but Google's fortune.
Well, the biggest problem is because they didn't have a sound business model. That's why it kind of failed.
Yeah, and there's a lot of...
Wait. I will agree that many companies try to implement cloud services and fail. Okay? Apple has been on the very low, way low, with the big loser bumper sticker on the bumper type stuff with cloud services. I've experienced because I've been a Mobile Me user. Call me insane. Yes, I admit to insanity on it. I got tired of Earthlink. Okay, and I like local email. I don't run on Gmail. That's just me. But their cloud services, terrible. Their product integration doesn't exist as far as mobile is concerned. iPad doesn't know the iPhone exists, and vice versa.
Well, no, that's the thing. If they can't get this right on the local level, I would be...
Now, wait. I want to stop it because a lot of this cloud talk has to do with iTunes. And I look at, I can have my music on the cloud and the movies on the cloud. To me, that's not as important as saying the iPhone now knows there's an iPad.
Well, no. See, that's the thing. Everybody is expecting this service to be like what Google's doing with the cloud shared syncing. Where they all talk to each other and sync. I'm not seeing it because they can't even do it on the local level. I'm seeing it being like you're saying. It's a cloud music drive. Ooh, wow. It's like the other 50 billion iDrives I can get from anywhere else.
Exactly. Go use Amazon services.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, and have fun doing that over 4G,
Yeah.
With the data plan somehow.
Okay.
Cut.
Moving on to what is really old now, but Bit has finally looked at it, so we will get his 2 cents.
Yes.
Go on, Bit.
Well, hey, Commodore, do you want to say something first before I go off?
No, I'm just saying, I haven't even watched it, so go on, Bit.
Alright. I watched Google I/O. Day 1 and Day 2. Okay. Day 1, very impressive. But now let me reel that rope back in a little bit, because it's the same feeling I got when Windows or Microsoft announced Windows NT, and it was going to go all these directions. Google I/O Day One had so much to offer with the technology, from like facial movements that they were talking about to all the different integrations and wrappers they were talking about for Android everywhere. Okay, but let me tell you, as a programmer, Android everywhere still has limitations that us as developers are going to have to comply with, which then has to do with developer adoption of wanting it to do that way. And from other platforms that I've seen, from Microsoft, Apple, and then now Android, I don't know what's going to happen. When I develop my piece and it's fully finished, I will adopt the best technology that I can. I'm that type of programmer. I want to, if it costs me a little bit more, I like to, because I learn more. I consider it an opportunity cost that I learn more by using more of the native. No matter how much of the common denominator I lose, becoming more specialized for an operating system, I'd rather go that way and giving the consumer a way better performance than versus the bottom dollar that I receive. But I weigh the bottom dollar I receive as an opportunity cost of knowledge that I gain from doing specialization on each software. That's just me. But there are clearly very, very, very cool features coming to Android. And I wait to see its implementation, although I'm in the middle of my development right now for my own products to bring to Android. I think it's...
Well,
it reminds me of the mid 1990s. Is all I can say. Now, Android Home. That to me is like a big fart bag. We've already got a lot of things that you can already run.
Smoke not going anywhere, huh? With the Android Home thing.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go talk to GE and everybody else to make light bulbs that are Android compatible. Okay.
Well,
let's move on. You know,
all they're doing there is like the thing they did to control the giant, labyrinth.
I love thermometer.
But basically, they've just said this is the standard. Use it or not. And since
it's not that, it's a lot more than that. You have to have vendor compliance to make it a standard.
No, I know. Okay, this is our proposed standard. Vendors, please use it. If the vendors start to use it, since it's open, I honestly see anyone who's trying to do smart integration using that standard just to comply with it. But it's only if they can make it stick. Like, they have to get at least 3 other manufacturers, aside from the flagship one they have, to do it. Because anyone who's ever done home automation right now, this is the problem. Like, you go there and it's like, does your local hardware home supply store stock the standard for the unit you're using? And that's the thing in that right now. At least a dozen companies have tried to create a standard. They've all failed miserably. I'm with you. Unless the standard sticks, yeah.
Well,
now, the thing that I thought was cool
big guys that get kind of like the Lowe's and Home Depot, but what about the mom and pop places,
Well, no, see, that's the thing. And it comes down to, he was talking about, it comes down like the mom and pop stores. And what that comes down to is, does the manufacturer they have their contract with support that standard? It's like, if it doesn't, then they don't stock that standard, because they can't afford to open this whole other contract with other said manufacturer and so on and so forth, because it would put them out of business, and they can't stock both, and they can't alienate the one they've been dealing with for 10 years, because then they won't ever get the prices they have that they've worked up to back.
Well, I also thought was very impressive was their little labyrinth they had with the big ball bearing, and that you could talk to APIs externally, like all these devices that are third-party, probably PLC logic coming into Android is the way I interpreted that. Very cool. Xbox controllers coming in, very cool. Again, adoption way. Google TV, look, man. I'm just going to say it to everybody, from Apple or whatever, if you don't have a built-in tuner to capture cable and regular television channels, please remove the word TV from the name and do something else? Because I don't give a crap.
Honestly, I said this in Linux. Honestly, what I think is going to happen with Google TV is it's going to evolve into Google's TV top game console. And it's going to integrate with your other Android devices as a controller. That's what I honestly see happening for that thing. Because it's just what makes sense. And consoles sell well, and the console market is ready for...
You think it'll use Android, though?
No, they said it is. What they're going to do is, when Ice Cream comes out in fourth quarter of this year, and really...
that logo is kind of hokey.
Yeah, and really...
We need to get off the breads and cup, all of this...
Hey, if Apple can use endless cats, Google can use desserts...
Cats are badass! Okay?
Well, okay, but Android's using desserts. Lay off the desserts, man.
No, I'm sorry, the desserts suck.
Anyways,
Android. The name kicks ass, but then you go to something like Cupcake. What's wrong with you?
They're geeks and they enjoy the satire.
I'm having fun with this, but come on, cats are awesome. I love cats anyway.
OS 10.8 Fluffy.
The movie Meet the Parents. Anybody see Meet the Parents? No. And the Meet the Parents when they're in their car, and his description of cats versus dogs is totally something I'd say. You're dependent on, you really want that just unknowing, unconditional love. A cat. When a cat comes to you and they love you, that's it's for real. I love that whole conversation. I'm in that same
you
mental
gotta see what NVIDIA names their chips after. Okay, the name of the comic book characters. First there's Tegra. Alright, Tegra and Kal-El is the next one. And then Wayne, then Logan, then Stark.
Okay. What is a name?
It's like, okay.
What?
Ice cream. Sandwich. Ice cream sandwich. Hello.
Well, yeah, but it makes sense because it's combining, Froyo with.
Just put a freaking ice cream truck's little song. Ding 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 ding.
You know what? I can see Google doing that at I/O. They'll have their nice floating little animation up there.
And Android. Cool last name. Android. Cool logo. Like ice cream sandwich.
Okay, I hate to pull a page out of your camp's book, but you just don't get it.
Look, Android is badass. I'm having fun with this. You're totally playing by Android, whatever.
Anyways.
The exercise bike on stage, though, the exercise bike that they had about Android talking to it, okay, when I go to my gym and it's actually there, then I will give a shit about the little
let's say that's the beauty of the actuator thing they're going with. You could literally make any bike that's in any gym compatible with that.
I can, but that has to do with adoption. This is just like Windows NT when it started with me. All these wonderful avenues. When it actually gets materialized, I've been there, done that. You gotta understand, I'm an old school dude.
No, I know.
I'm not coming off the bus.
And honestly, whether that gets adopted or not is going to be if all of us people who are looking for that, who are aware that exists, like we go to a gym, how come you haven't made this compatible with this yet? And they're going to look at you with this bewildered face like a doe staring at hair lights going, what? And you're going to explain to them, no, there's this thing that does this and does that. And then they'll go, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. It's like,
and the other thing is that why does everybody have to get in movie rentals and books? I don't know what it's like. I just have to save my comments for that. I just don't get that.
No, I think we're both with you. On
that kind of thing. Now, I will go back to Android everywhere. It's not going to work for everything, but I know that the form factors, if they make native Android controls, bars, menus, anything like maybe like a frame or something, to scale per resolution, whatever form factor, good thing. Although, I'm a pundit that'll say everybody's full of shit about fragmentation problems. That's the idea, is to be on every damn device as possible. And you know what? If a programmer wants to program for a specific phone that has way better devices for their game than another phone, then that's badass. I'd rather have customization in maximum efficiency versus a common denominator argued as an efficiency.
Well,
a common denominator to me is like sharing, and it's like this. Let's all hug in this one damn circle. I am not that mentality.
Well, no, and honestly, I think
shit.
And honestly, I think it's for developers like you. I think that's the real inspiration behind Ice Cream and this unifier. What they're trying to create is an AP.
It would be less hassle.
Yeah, no. What they're trying to create is, now the real judge of it is going to be when Ice Cream comes out and it's actually here for everyone to play with. But what they're trying to create, whether or not they actually deliver, is a different story altogether. But it sounds like what the idea is to create an API layer which is a hybrid between the two. It's that balance you're looking for, opportunity cost wise, of unifier, where you can still make mountains out of molehills if you want to, but it's diminished the opportunity cost so much that, like, this API is integrated in such a way that you will get 95% there if you use it. And if they really do deliver that, kudos. If it's short of that, and it isn't quite there, I see it creating more problems than it solves. And that's really just going to depend on what they actually deliver.
Yeah. I'm impressed with
okay, since you watched day 2, there's something we didn't talk about when we covered it.
No, we're not getting to day 2 this
yeah,
I'm just saying that I want to make it clear to Andrew, because I develop for Android as well. Well, I mean, I don't have any published apps yet, but I'm in the middle of it. Again, the way I feel is that all these technologies are great. I'm going to utilize them. That's my deal. But there are a lot of these things going to be widely used. I don't know. Day 1 had books and movie rentals and music and all that.
Fail.
I guess it's important to people, But man, I'm going to go back to what we went over in iWorld. Where are the geeks, man? Where is technology? Is everything gonna come down to music, videos, and books again? I mean, this one's how boring. I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong thing to say, but
I guess the geeks don't really matter anymore because they're a small fraction of the people. They're non-geeks than geeks, so they want something non-geeks. You make more money that way.
You say that, but that mentality is the reason everybody has a personal computer today. It does.
I know,
it does help. Here's the thing: I don't have a problem with helping the technology get adapted by using things the average person cares about. I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is when you're doing that at the exclusion of the technology, which doesn't appear to be happening, at least not yet, on the Android side. The fact that they built that giant labyrinth and had fun with it proves that they're still very much about having fun with it.
If we're going to talk about movies and music and books maybe not so much with. Let's talk about movies and music. Compression already denotes bits taken out of the raw material, meaning that the music is already in the raw format. It already, players that we have existing today, going to be better than a compressed format. Same with movies. I still to this day cannot get a damned iTunes movie rental or Netflix rental with freaking subtitles and stuff. I have a mother-in-law who doesn't speak a word of English. And it sucks that I am limited on digital content, very, very limited, to raw digital formats that already exist, that already comply with ways of life that I have, that digital is far from satisfying. Okay? And we are making compromises as consumers just to get by, which ticks me off and is why I am never impressed. To this day, that may change with future stuff, but as of now, I could give a shit about all this digital MP3 stuff, and download HD movies. I don't care. That stuff goes. I would rather walk out of the keynote to listen to that shit versus like Google I/O stuff on. Check this out. Look at our big ball bearing maze and how we're going to use maybe like this Samsung tablet or Zoom tablet to navigate that ball through the maze. That shit is impressive to me. Now I will tell you that I'm probably one out of tens of millions that go, Mr. Vic, because you live on a freaking different planet. You know what? That's okay. I'll be alone on my damn planet versus everybody else. I mean that's just the way I see this shit. You can be satisfied with all these the lowest common denominator for everything, but I'll be on my planet by myself, doing shit having different common denominators and numerators and what have you to get shit done faster and better.
I don't know. Anyways, moving on to day 2.
Did I not make sense, or what?
Oh, you made sense. I just don't really have a rebuttal. So
you're saying you agree?
No, I'm saying we have different points of view, and I said mine already. So it's like time will tell. It's.
Oh, I'm gonna lose. Trust me. The common market share always wins.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I think you can cater to that without locking out the geeks. There's nothing to say you can't do that and then have it still be the geeks can do what the geeks want to do. It's when you start doing that over, where it's like, here's the thing. I wouldn't have a problem with OS X being like it was if I, as a more sophisticated user, could make it behave in UI however I want. That's the thing. When you start catering to that lowest denominator and then try and drag everybody else down to it, that's when I have a problem. If you're going to cater to that lowest denominator to help you gain market share and make things fly off the shelf, I don't have a problem with it. Let me, as a more sophisticated user, then bring it up to my level.
I'll agree with you in saying so long as both doors are open.
Right, and I have.
But you know what happens? But you know what
that
tends
was
to
the whole
happen?
Unity thing with Ubuntu and all the GNOME shell stuff.
Exactly. Right.
But you know what tends to happen is I didn't hear what Commodore said, but I think from the words that I heard him say is that with you used to the KDE because Linux and other distros have sacrificed stuff that you want as a user. And I'm telling you that I've seen it happen time and time again. The technology gets sacrificed as an opportunity cost because the bottom line is money coming into the company, which I have no problem. That's why I admit that my philosophy usually loses in the end because I am not the.
Well, no, see, at the end of the day, I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. I will agree with you that more often than not, they tend to forget that there are people.
What Windows has done. Windows Windows has done that, like you said, with Vista and making UI some. Windows buckled a little bit and made it. But let me tell you, stuff changes when they say, look, man, you are only a certain very small percentage of our demographics. It is too much money that we have to spend.
And honestly, like Windows is a perfect example of how that was done wrong. In Windows, Windows Vista, they moved a lot of stuff around. They moved it to places that was more logical for grandma, but made no frickin' sense to an IT guy. And I get that. I didn't have a problem with them adding it to all these new areas. But there is no rule in a computer that says you have to, when you add it over here, you have to remove it from over here. That rule does not exist. There's no reason you can't have a link to it from both. There's no reason it can't be in both.
I agree with you.
It's not.
And you know what? How you solve that is by having open software, which is why you are a Linux user.
Yeah.
Because that does accommodate that. But when it is under a more controlling central authority,
No, and that's the thing. No matter what decision the central authority makes, I guarantee you they got it wrong. Because somebody is going to, it's not going to be right for somebody. Doesn't matter what they choose, who they cater to, they got it wrong. So at the end of the day, you know, those are things
right.
Yeah,
those are things.
Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, why I've never impressed with like these music things and stuff like that. I already gave you my movie reason with the whole subtitles, but let's talk about music. Apple came up with this thing called Home Share. I was already sharing my music already across all the Macs that I have in my house, which is a lot. You know, home sharing was like, whatever. You know, who cares? To me, that's like, whatever. But I know probably for the majority of users, that's a big deal. But that's part of why I am bitching right now. Part of what I'm trying to get across is education. I'm ranting more than educating right now. I will admit to that. This is much more than a rant. But I dedicate videos to trying to get people interested in educating them. And saying, hey, you know what? You don't have to compromise here and there. Let's learn a little bit about technology, and so that you can become a more aware consumer and say, you know what? While you're here, you can be here. And if we can get the majority of the demographics here, technology is going to change to address that demand.
Well, and I should make one thing clear. You know, the thing we're getting onto here, people act like you have to have this. Well, it can either be geek friendly or it can be user friendly, and the two can't live together.
I agree with you.
I'm a geek. I like to get in and mess with all this stuff and get it just how I want it and be able to control the flow and mess with things. I'm a geek. On the other hand, I'm very much for user friendliness. I want something that's so drop dead simple that my grandma can use it and understand it, even though she doesn't know shit. To give you an idea of what my grandma did, my grandma was on a dial-up internet connection, and her solution to make it go faster was to go buy a whole new computer. You know, that's my grandma's level of technical expertise. She let the sales guy sell her, and we all felt sorry for her. It was like, but, you know, there's no rule that says you can't make it easy enough for her to use, but still customizable enough that somebody of my user level can do what I want to do. You can't, the two are not exclusive. I believe that level of user friendliness, stock, out of the box, is what everything should be striving for. But it should not be limited solely to that.
Yeah, and I think OSN is a great personification of that. Yeah, I mean, that's why.
Yeah, see, on that particular note, you and I are going to have to.
I know you'll disagree. Another hour has gone by. You need to stop the machine and save it before.
No, we haven't quite got out an hour yet. If we can cover day 2.
Well, that's good. Look, I'm in day 2. Now, I will tell you. All right, so day 2. I thought we stopped at an hour, but if not, okay. I just want to make sure we don't lose any. We
stopped at an hour. We're at about 38 minutes now, so if we can cover day 2 in 20 minutes, we'll be right at another hour.
Okay, great. Chrome, I'm actually impressed with the adoption rate. I did not know it was that widespread.
Oh, no, I've been watching that. I have been specifically catering to Chrome for like the last 6 months because it's exploding. It's not my favorite browser, but
I know, for me it's not either. I don't like how it runs on Windows and I mean, just Mac for that matter. But I'm a Firefox fan. I'm sorry, I really dig Firefox.
No,
I've tried.
But Chrome is growing like a weed. The big 3 browsers, I'm guessing by the end of next year or the year after, are going to be Firefox, Chrome, and IE. They're going to like gobble up and divide about 85% of the market between them, and then there'll be the other browsers.
I wish Opera would get more market share because I also enjoy Opera, but it's just too often that you run into incompatibility issues with it.
I'm with you.
It's a great browser. I'll give them a plug on this show because
it's not my favorite, and I personally don't like the style they went with, but it is a good browser. I can never understand why it seems to just idle in this oblivion of around 1%.
Nobody uses it. It usually stays at like 1 or 5% of the market share.
No, it almost never hits 5%. It's somewhere between 0.5 and 1.8.
Wait. Opera has a lot of market share in Europe, not in the U.S., but in Europe it does.
Well, Apple, Opera, they have market share in other places. They have market share with Nintendo. On the Wii browser is actually Opera. The Nintendo DS browser is Opera. Opera's in other places other than the desktop.
Yeah, but overall market share, it's still this very obscure, and I have no idea why, but those are what the statistics are, you know. Anyways, moving on.
So day two continuing with Chrome.
What did you think of the fish?
I think that is awesome. Now, let me tell you something about. Wait. Safari can deploy that too. The GL implementation that they're talking about also was recommended via HTML5 to be shut down because of the security exploit that mimics Flash's exploit. So, and I posted on Twitter. Anybody who follows me on Twitter, I spent a whole day going over HTML5 security breaches. And a lot of those breaches come through the GL implementation that you saw with the fish demo.
I know. That's something.
I warned everybody about this too.
No, I agree with you. That's something I really
cannot escape the same things that Flash implemented.
No. See, that's something I really don't think the industry is ready for. As we start to implement HTML5 and really give the browser the ability to talk to every single thing on your system, we are creating this massive backdoor into everybody's computer.
Hey, I loved it in the old days when I had the backdoor to everything. I used it to help the user, but yes, we're limited now. But I warn people of this HTML.
Well, no, and like you say, it can be used for good or evil, and it'll be useful in that I can create app-like experiences where I can seamlessly. I mean, it will be nice that I can actually use keyboard shortcuts with a browser app, and it'll integrate fully, and all of that stuff will be nice. But at the end of the day, it now means the browser has integrated sufficiently into my computer that it can do things it couldn't historically do. And you think Flash and DirectX exploits are the types of exploits we're going to see through creative use of HTML5 for Black Hat purposes are going to make Flash and ActiveX exploits look like child's play, because they will be able.
They're going to be comparable. It's all going to be balanced. It'll be balanced.
Yeah, I think they might be able to get worse, but initially they will be very comparable, because it's going to take like a true. Okay, Captain Cowboy. It's like Commodore's put a digital cowboy hat on. It's like, but I do like the potential. But like you say, Safari's capable of doing it. IE has hardware acceleration. Here's the thing: I want to see every browser, at least the big mainstream 5 or 6, support some form of hardware acceleration like this, because until all the browsers support it, I as a web developer can't really use it. I can't create something for a website that really only one browser in a fixed niche of systems can handle. It needs to be 85% of the devices and systems that are going to come across this website can do it, and do it efficiently and do it in a way that's pleasant to the user, or there's no point in including it at all. It's great for a demo site. Oh, showing off what this new technology can do. But in practicality of a site being usable, you can't, you can't put stuff like that in unless you're going to sit down and write a separate version of the site for every browser, you know.
Yeah. Now let me say something about day 1 versus day 2. We have Chrome versus Android, essentially. Chrome OS, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
The Chromebooks.
Both are cloud services oriented, no matter what. Although Chrome OS is content is going to be probably far more cloud based than Android, but it points to the business model that Google makes money off of, which is all of its cloud services deployed through distributive computing, which I would say is Android, and centralized computing, which is Chrome OS. Otherwise, it's just Chrome OS is just merely, I perceive, as a straightaway portal to all of Google services.
That's exactly
that
what it
will have
is. Chrome OS is basically a
code to
browser.
execute it far more efficient than probably any other interpreter out there. And Android will have native code as well to address all of the other cloud services that Google already deploys, which is obviously already being executed on many of the Android devices. I don't like Chrome OS because I don't like centralized computing. I like Android far better. I'm paying more attention to Android, but I don't want to rain on anybody's parade about Chrome OS. I'm not going to adopt centralized computing. I hope I'm never forced to. I don't want my stuff in the cloud. I like to use cloud services for other means, but it will not be my primary repository for execution of data and doing things that I expect the computers to do.
Why I see some people using these Chromebooks, and honestly what they are is you're going to get a computer like you do a cell phone. You're going to basically lease it from the carrier forever and yada yada and so forth. And it's like, oh, okay, fine. I'm not a huge fan of it. Personally, the way I see it is because through the Chrome browser, I can access anything that I would find of benefit in Chrome OS. If I'm going to adopt Chrome services, I'm going to do it through the Chrome browser. And then I still have my system here and all this stuff, but I have access to this stuff. I'm not the huge fan of Chrome OS myself. It's just, I agree some people will use it, and it will have a market, but it's a niche market at this point. I'm not this huge fan of it. I'm more a fan like you of.
So you can't buy a Chromebook without renting it or leasing it?
You can, but here's the thing. You need the internet. There's nothing local. You can store stuff local, but it really needs to be talking to the internet. And if you buy, and like say you buy one of these Chromebooks, they're designed to use the wireless carrier and so on and so forth. There's a bug when Jordan was testing it. He hasn't actually been able to test if that bug isn't gone. But when he ran out of data, when he ran out of
CR48.
When he ran out of data through the carrier, the computer became bricked. He couldn't add more data. It was basically just locked up. He couldn't
use Wi-Fi?
Yeah, he couldn't switch over to Wi-Fi. It was like he needed to get more cell phone carrier data to get used to the device back.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Instant On, I could give a shit. Unless it's like localized. It's fine that you want to be able to get. See, can I ask a question? Do you guys think that this whole social medium is also a temporary measure? I don't think Facebook is going to last. I actually think there's going to be, my opinion is I think there's going to be a social backlash to being so open as we are today. I think people are going to eventually become very restrictive and going back to being more funny.
It's where everybody is, anybody is.
Okay, here's the thing on that, on a nutshell. Here's the thing on that. There's a sociological change going on right now that No. Here's the thing, and it's a generational thing. It's not 100% with our generation. It's not. There are some in Commodore's generation, but not enough of them. But there's a whole group of people who are growing up right now, who literally their school life, their work life, and their at-home personal life, there's not a line in between them. They're all one life. There's like, this is all of me. They're not compartmentalizing their life. That is the
I would agree with that. That's how I mean.
No. That is the mentality we've all been taught. There's companies that have this rule: you don't fraternize at work because it causes problems for the company and yada. But that's an old school mentality. There's a whole generation that are honestly growing up where they don't care if somebody is a different religion, a fag, a shot. It's not a big.
I'm talking about social.
No. no. But that is part of that. As this generation grows up and begins to take their place in the adult world, and then has children whom they teach that to, we're going to have a world where
teach that to. I don't think we're going to teach. See, here's my thing. You have very valid points in that we grow up, and the thing of it is that I think that social networking is for right now. It's transgressing a lot of age groups, but I think, in my opinion, it's going to stick to one age group in the future, because nothing is escapable from the responsibilities of life. No matter what we do, nothing escapes you from the responsibilities of life. When you get to work and you're in stress and you decide to have a family, things change no matter what. And I've always found that society-wise and socially, we default to very old traditions that have maintained thousands and thousands of years.
What the old tradition you default to, more and more, is the tradition that was the tradition when you were a kid.
I don't agree with that. I find myself being more and more like my parents. Now, whether our parents evolved, that is true. When you brought up race and
who has a bigger influence in your life? Your friends or your parents? Your friends, of course.
No, well, okay, that's a debatable thing in and of itself. But what I was getting into was the idea that as these lines become blurred between keeping the blah separate from blah and so on and so forth, because basically what I was getting at is people are going to become far less concerned with privacy, because here's the real reason privacy is this golden thing. Privacy is this golden thing because people are different people behind closed doors than they are in the world.
I don't consider it privacy yet, because the internet yields anonymity. We put our faces up, but boy, is there a lot of layers of anonymity in between. When it becomes real, I think stuff changes at that point. And I honestly believe that we could get farther and farther up as a society in acceptance, but I think there's going to be a major retraction, and everybody go, hell no. I'm done with this. I know more people now that have left Facebook or create fraudulent, or I don't want to say fraudulent, that's a wrong word.
Anonymized Facebooks.
Yes, and in other words, where they used to be very personal and out there to very fake, yes, and anonymous. And you know what? If we want to live in a world of anonymity and saying we are something that we are not, that's meaningless. And that in itself, as a trend, will die, because we will get tired of the fakeness. So then that resorts to how personal and how revealing will we be as a society. And I think this trend is going to end. Well, I don't know when, but maybe 8 years from now. I think it's going to get worse than it is now, and then a major retraction is my prediction. I'll admit that if I'm wrong, whatever. But I see younger generations, kids younger than I am, that are saying, well, no, I like the internet because I can be anybody I want. That is a very different thing from actually sharing who you are.
But see, that's the thing that companies like Facebook and so on are trying to get rid of. And
it won't work.
Now, here's what I see happening. I see it creating a whole new class of social engineering. And that the unsophisticated user, I'll give you an idea. Most people aren't aware that I can get their geographical location simply from their IP address. The reality is all the information is there for attacking. Walk down a street, any street in a major metropolitan area with a Wi-Fi sniffer, or a cell phone
now,
data
wait a minute,
sniffer,
wait a minute.
and is to get.
You're talking about something very different. The underpinning of technology and how we. Let's go back to the old days. We could actually tell where somebody was based upon their calling card number.
No, I know that, but that's what I'm getting at.
What are we willing to give versus the underpinning of technology?
But see, here's the thing. All this information's already there. One of the things that this social thing is making Grandma aware of just how easy it is to do this. Granted, Grandma's giving a lot of additional information to make it that much easier, but it's making people aware of this. But here's the thing. As this happens more and more, there's going to be two types of user. There's going to be the sophisticated one that realizes just what you can do with this information. I mean, people are very unaware of just how much damage you can do to somebody with something as simple as their full legal name. Full legal name and a few other pieces of information, and I can tear your life apart. I don't need your picture. I don't need to know what school you... I can literally tear your life apart if I want to. But see, people are blissfully oblivious to that because they've never pissed anybody off who knows how to do that. There's going to be the user who's aware of how valuable this information is and will take steps to provide a layer of separation and anonymity. And there's going to be the average user that is blissfully unaware to the glass house they're living in and how many stones they're throwing. And that's just the divide I see going forward.
You know, what was this whole anonymity thing? A lot of people say, like Chris Perillo, he says there are a lot of people trolling and typing his comments. They're just trolling for responses. But being anonymous actually enables you to be more honest than you were if you could put your face on the line, you know?
Well, maybe I'm a cynic because my personal point of view is given the logs that are kept. I mean, I administer web servers and I mess with sites. I see the type of log.
We're talking about the underpinnings of technology, though, versus building a product upon what consumers were willing to pay for.
Well, no, but see, but because of those underpinnings of technology, my official position is nobody's actually anonymous, anyways.
Okay, whatever. But if we're talking about a sales product, that's what I'm talking about, is will these products that rely on consumer purchases exist? Not whether the technology is going to...
The ones whose business model is based on selling you something, I agree with you. They're going to die. The ones that are based on giving you something of value in exchange for something of far more value... It's the ultimate bait and switch, and at the end of the day, for that to die, you're requiring.
I mean, it's like
You're requiring people to think and really evaluate the true opportunity costs. I mean, every grocery store you go to. Hi, would you like to fill out the survey where you have a 1 in 10,000 chance of winning $5 by giving us information that's worth hundreds of dollars, possibly thousands? I choose not to fill out that survey. I guarantee you most do. I'm going to get $5. I'm going to get $5.
I mean, it's not most do. A lot of people do, but not most.
Okay.
I mean, but here's what I'll say, though. Let me bring this down to a movie and this is a fictional movie, that I thought, I think plays well to this anonymity thing. Surrogates, with Bruce Willis. I thought that, taking all the silliness out of it, the main message I got from it was the whole privacy, anonymity, being something you're not. And I think it was personified in a line that Bruce Willis had said is like, who are you? For all I know, you could be some like fat ass guy whacking off in your chair at home, versus what I see in front of me. And I think so long as anonymity is as accessible and free to use, it will thrive. When it comes to laying the money down on the line on who you really are, I don't think it will thrive.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm a bit of a cynic in that regard because I'm a largely honest person. The asshole I am here is the asshole I am in real life. I don't put on airs or face or an act for anybody. I'm very candid. I'm not. I mean, I'm not a dumbass when it comes to giving away things of value. Actually, my whole
yeah, but let's put it this way: most people know my name on the internet. Most people don't know your name.
Okay, and you know what? There's a reason most people don't know my name. For those of you who don't know, who haven't been watching the show, when I was 6 years old, some SOB stole my social security number. So I deliberately cloak myself from the world as a whole in my day-to-day life. 99% of people who know me, who are close personal friends, do not know my legal name. They know my anonymity name, my nickname. They don't actually know my real name. People I work with on a daily basis don't know my real full name. I have anonymatized myself that much, but I'm not. I don't. I mean, so I guess I'm human 2.0. I've adopted this anonymity, but I've done it to protect myself because problems that came about when I was problems that came about when I was 19 is people who I owed no money to whatsoever were knocking on my door, my neighbor's door, stalking my car, things like that. So I went off the grid, and I ain't ever coming back.
So you're off the grid. What I'm saying is that of anything, the majority of the observations that I've seen is that people thrive on the internet because they're able to be something that they're not in real life. Now, I try to be as true as possible. Now, a lot of people already know my full name already on the internet. Now, there are probably just as many that don't know my full name, but most people know my first name at least.
For those of you who'd like to know his name is...
Everybody knows I'm Marcel. I don't care about that. I mean, the thing of it is that it's because I am really what I am. As I talk, everybody who met me personally, like I have a best friend in New Zealand, Gareth, and he met me in Las Vegas. This is who I am in real life anyway. So now, yeah, I'm not as going to be as open to say every damn bit of information for people who want to use it maliciously. I'd hope that everybody, is a nice person out there. Doesn't need to be malicious, but I used to be very uncomfortable. In my first videos, for example, on YouTube, you never saw who I was. It took a while.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Up to get my face on YouTube. Now I'm very, very comfortable and complacent with it. Let me tell you, there's bloggers out there on YouTube. Let's take these major YouTubers where their full name is known, addresses are known, and I don't know if anybody's doing anything malicious to them. And I think they're doing okay. So it may seem that the internet is mimicking real life, and that in real life, to all the people that we do happen to give our information to, not much bad comes from it, and that we're able to go on day to day safely. And it may be that the internet is mimicking that.
Well, see, personal.
Wait, that's in contradictory to what I'm believing. It's just that, and what I stated, when I'm saying what I'm believing and what I stated, that it's because us as consumers have a knee-jerk reaction immediately to things of security, and that what I've observed is what I'm saying is that the thriving of these centralized computing in Facebook is that it's not really sharing the personal stuff. It's enabling you to be something that you're not. Is the selling point that I am trying to convey is the success in those business models versus being who you really are.
Well, no, and it's like the thing I can't stand is the phoniness. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact that when I'm on the grid, I need to have at a minimum $10,000 cash in hand to deal with bullshit, I would be a little more candor about what my name is and other crap, and because there's bullshit I would love to comment on that's going on, and it's local bullshit. So if I start commenting on it, I'm gonna, you will know where I am within 50 miles, and you will be able to, you'd be able to find me in a heartbeat. You know, and honestly, I wouldn't care. You know, I've had drunks knock on my door in the middle of the night, and I've let them in, and I've talked with them, and then I'm like, okay, you can't stay here, but you have to go. I'm a very open and candid person. You know, I'm an oddball. I'm nuts. I'm not quite right in the head when it comes to that shit. But at the end of the day, it's simply I don't have the money to deal with it. If I did, if I was doing a lot better and I had $10K in the bank that I could afford to just flush, and I had enough disposable income that I could afford to spend $10K plus a year on dealing with bullshit, I would not be as reclusive as I am in regards on that stuff. It's simply a matter of I can't afford not to be off the grid. I can't. It's not possible.
Okay. Fair enough. But I mean, I'm just saying, point of fact of what my main point is social media banking and making tons of money on the power of being anonymous versus being who you really are. And what is that going to lead to? Is this going to last? I think that the business makers are going to keep it anonymous because that's what's making them money. And I think they know that. And that's my point, is that I don't think things are going to become as personal as we expected.
It's becoming less and less anonymous every day.
I'd say I disagree with that. I mean, maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong, but my observations, I don't know of any online statistics.
Well, no, okay.
My observations are people are becoming more and more anonymous.
I would agree with you, but see, that's people putting in artificial anonymization. And, you know, Facebook more and more
What does that mean, artificial anonymization?
That's
a word. What does that mean, artificial anonymization?
If I go to Facebook and I don't want it linked to my real name and my real address and yada yada and so forth, I have to put in fake information that's close enough to the real information, but separate enough that it can't be tracked back to the real information. And it's, so basically, it's not part of the system. It's sophisticated users basically doing basically explaining.
I know, lame. If you want to talk about in technical terms, layman's technology that you use Facebook via power of anonymity.
You know, because they want everybody using their real name, their primary. They want that full integration thing. And the reason I say they don't want it anonymized is because if they were honestly going to be moving towards an anonymized business model, every single time Facebook updates, it would not make every single private thing public.
I would say this: Facebook started off as an alternative to MySpace, which became extremely open and susceptible to attacks and viruses and all these other kinds of things. And that led to the success of Facebook, in my opinion. Now, Facebook is under attack. Now, if there were a service that didn't use advertisements, but perhaps subscription to protect, and that was like the business model, then I think people would really reveal who they are and saying, you know, I want to find truly long lost friends. I'm paying to do this. I'm paying not to have advertisements.
No.
I'm paying not to be asked any questions.
No. The reason I say that no bit is because one of the reasons people, even though they cry bloody murder when Facebook makes yet another privacy repeal, they're not paying for it. So at the end of the day, they have no ground to stand on. If you were paying somebody money to do what Facebook does, people would cry bloody murder to the hill. It's really funny. People are paying for something, they won't put up with crap.
But they are paying by being consumers.
Right, but no, it's the same thing.
Well, yeah, I want to comment on what's your opinion on this, because I know more users, and they're not like me at all. They don't know shit about computers, but they use Facebook via
They don't know the evils of the Zuckerberg.
What?
They do not know the evils of the Zuckerberg, right?
No, I know. Okay, but yeah, I don't have an account on Facebook. But what I'm saying is that if they do, my question to Commodore is like, is the power and the success of social web because it's allowing you to be something that you're not, or is it because it's allowing you to share who you really are? What is more profitable, I guess?
I think it's because of a few things. Well, before we had Facebook, we had MySpace, and in MySpace you could do what the hell you wanted. You know, the show, you know that person who said they wanted to have like some sort of brown or orange on top of a weird color. You know what I'm talking about, the Harley Davidson one?
Yeah.
People design website, MySpace pages just like that, and it kind of caught on because you couldn't have those, oh dear God, my eyes hurt pages, you know? And another reason why is Facebook kind of spread very virally, you know, like it annoyed people to join Facebook, you know? They put in their email or their AIM or something, hi, blah blah blah's on Facebook, blah blah blah's on Facebook, blah blah blah's on Facebook, and they kept on annoying you.
Yeah, basically, if you sign up for Facebook, the first thing Facebook asks you is, who are your real-life friends, and what is their contact information? And then if that person doesn't have a Facebook, Facebook will annoyogram them until they get on Facebook and join you as a friend on Facebook. It will annoyogram until that happens. It will not stop.
I experienced that.
Yeah, but the real benefit of Facebook, and I hate to say benefit because it's subjective, but the way in which people use things like Facebook is for the social aspect of, it's not to anonymize. You know, there's people who do things like find their there's adopted kids who find their real parents using this social nature of Facebook, and this you only get the benefit of the social networking you can get out of things like this if you're not anonymous. If you say, I went to this school, I did this is my name, this is where you literally have to give it. The more of that information you give it, the less anonymous you are. I like this music, I like this TV show,
dude,
these are my politics.
There's people that are non-computer geeks that just put bullshit in there.
No, but literally, the more truthful, valid, legitimate information you give it.
As large as they pretend to be, 400 or 530 million. Yeah, I would say like 60% of that is bullshit accounts.
No, because have you ever tried to sign up for a Facebook account?
Wait. Yes, I've been on Facebook twice. I signed up, left it. When they changed their privacy policy, I signed up again.
Okay.
I was like, but let me say something. They thrive because it doesn't matter who you are, a real person. They thrive because the ads track you to what you choose to pick.
Yeah,
what you choose to like. Wait. Your anonymity, you being anonymous is still protected no matter what you click. You could like sailboats and nobody know where the fuck you live or anything about you.
Until they update it to say, well, now everybody knows you have sailboats.
Okay, well, I will yield my. But
well, no, okay.
So what do you think? Is it the anonymity or is it?
No, okay. Here's the thing.
Wait. I want Commodore's answer. Commodore, is it the power of being anonymous or is it the power of being who you really are so far?
I can't hear him that well. What?
The success of the social networking, is it successful because it's the power of being anonymous, or is it the power of being who you really are?
I guess it's because of, you know, like, one relative signed up for Facebook and then another relative. It spread like a virus. It's because someone spread so they could talk to their friends, you know.
Okay, Commodore, rephrasing the question to get the answer I think Bit wants. You're saying it spreads because it's not, but what he's asking is, what does it provide of value that keeps people on it? It spreads because of the viral, because of the nag, but people stay on it because
they want to play Farmville or something. I don't know.
Farmville. And Mafia Wars. Oh God Almighty! One of the biggest reasons I left that fucking platform.
Okay. Well, I want to get on one thing though. You're obsessing about it from the advertiser side. That is the monetization of it. which is a different thing altogether.
No,
That's no. Let me make my point. The anonymization you're talking about, yes, that's true. At the end of the day, advertisers don't give a shit who you are. What they care about is that there's active users on this network, and they can sort them by the metrics they care about. The more metrics they have, the easier it is to sort. If I'm selling boat wax, I only want to advertise to people who are interested in boats. Yes, that's worth its weight in gold. They don't care who you are. They care that you're between the ages of blah and blah and that you like boats. That's it. That's all they care about. They don't care where you are. They care what countries you're in, because you have to be in countries they ship to. But beyond that, they don't care. They don't need to know who you are.
I'll yield my argument. I want people to comment what they feel the power of social networking is. Because I feel...
Well, what I'm saying is...
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying based upon what I observe, anonymity is winning versus being personal. But if no. I'm gonna say if what you observe is opposite to what I'm saying.
Well, at the end of the day, you don't get. At the end of the day, how do you get anything of value out of that? Without, I mean, one of the values of.
But that's what I'm saying. The value of it comes to what keeps the fucking servers running is the advertisement revenue.
But the advertising revenue only comes in and has value because people are actively using the site. So the real service, the two services that make the site actively used are the liking social thing and the social networking that goes on. And for the social networking to have value, you have to be honest and candor. Yes,
No, you don't. Only on things you click. I could be Joe Smith and clicking on sailboats.
I tell you what, I will send you $20 if you can create a Facebook profile using the name Joe Smith.
I can't.
No, you can't.
I already did it. I mean, I did that already, dude.
John Smith, as in Sniff if he knows.
Joe Smith, I swear to God, I already created. But I mean, I've closed all my anonymous.
Well, that was stupid because Facebook's implemented things that when you sign up with anonymized things, it won't let you. It won't let the account be activated. It says we've not been able to validate.
Are you kidding me? I signed up with just Gmail accounts.
No. They said we cannot validate this name. Please use your real name. They've implemented algorithms in there now where they call names fake and they won't let them be signed up. And they're tweaking those more and more and more every day. It's getting harder and harder to come up with an anonymized.
I left Facebook for good 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to activate new profiles using anonymized names. It's literally getting harder and harder.
Okay.
If you're creative, you can still do it, but they're making it harder and harder and harder.
All right, I'll buy your stuff. Look, I could be totally wrong. I just think that there's going to be a backlash to all this.
Oh, I think, no, but see, here's the thing. Think how everybody leave Facebook, and 85% of them come back by the end of the month. You know, it's...
Well, that was how it was with MySpace. What's going to be, I guess, what's going to be the next, big thing, because now it's Facebook's turn. What's going to be next? I guess. I don't want to. We're boring the shit out of the fucking audience.
You know what? Actually, let's ask the question, and anybody who's watched this long deserves some kind of treat. So, happy, wacky, inflatable arm guy is the keyword.
No, we still haven't offered a prize for people that listen to us this fucking long.
We have to come up with something that
is. Now, this is the third time we said this shit. We need to come. I will. You know what? You create a PayPal account. I'm gonna put $10 in it.
But dude.
You just create a PayPal account. I'm gonna pay it $10, and you can do whatever the hell you want with a gift card or whatever the hell it is.
So you're gonna send every single person $10?
No. I just said you create a PayPal account with $10. I'm gonna send. You create a PayPal account. I'm gonna send it $10, and you can take everybody who puts the code word in the comments in the randomizer software, and the person that wins gets like a $10 whatever the hell it is. Or Commodore can chip in another $10 and make it a $20 gift card, and you can chip in a $30 gift card.
What are we doing now? I was busy.
Okay. Well, yeah. We'll figure something out on that.
All right. I'll make it $20. I'll make it $20. You create a PayPal account. I'll put $20 in there. Okay. And you can delegate. You take whatever the code word is. That people put in the comments and all that crap. Put it in a randomizer. Take that $20 that I put in the PayPal account, and you can whatever gift card they want.
Hey, hang on. I'm going to do some math here. Divided by...
It's not for every person. You're going to pick one out of a random...
No, hang on. I'm seeing something. Divided by 50 times 3...
I want to put my money where my mouth is because I'm tired of this. You just create a freaking PayPal account. I'm going to put $20 in there. You pick the one person that gets it.
Okay, so we're gonna give like $1,500 away a week. Well, actually, we'll do one. We'll do one.
I didn't say this is gonna happen all the time. I didn't say that. I said you make a PayPal account. What did I say? You're gonna make a PayPal account, and I'm gonna put $20 in it. It may happen again. Okay, I'm just telling you right now.
Okay, but if we're gonna do this for this one though, we need to do it also for the people who did it for iWorld. We'll let for iWorld because there's people who are coming out. Okay, here's what we'll do. Everybody who posts the keyword for this show is wacky inflatable arm guy. Everybody who puts that down. Everybody who puts that down. Hey, come on! It has to be something totally absurd and off topic.
Oh my God! Okay.
It's like, and every so often we'll do something like this, and everybody who puts it down there within 2 weeks, we'll hold a drawing, we'll figure out who it is.
You're gonna have to put every one of their names.
Yeah, we'll put it in a randomizer. It'll pick which one got, and then we'll post on the start of a video after we've done the drawing. Okay, you're the winner. Send us a PM with where you want the money PayPal to. If you don't have PayPal,
give them a gift card, mail it to them. Because PayPal takes a fucking...
No, that's here's the thing with that though. Do you think people? We've been talking about anonymity. You think people are really going to be comfortable giving us their address?
Yes, they do it. I'm telling you, they do that shit with other YouTubers.
Ah, yes, I don't know who you are or where you are or why you're crazy, but please I'll give you my physical address, please!
It freaking happens, man, on YouTube, like the big YouTube players, they give away shit.
Oh, okay.
They give away the personal information. It's just because they give it to one person, though. They're giving it to one person. It's not being broadcast everywhere.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with giving away 20 to 50. You know what? For this one, what? Like you said.
I'm gonna give $20.
Okay.
I'm giving $20.
Wait. What are you doing, Commodore?
I'm just getting something that I got. Hold on. Let me just.
And the post office delivered that?
Yeah, somebody actually did. Same that.
Oh, your post office is nothing like mine. Mine literally audits our boxes and refuses to deliver our mail half the time if it's anything other than the registered recipient's name. They're that anal about that here. I miss a lenient postmaster, damn it. Anyways, you know what?
This is a new code. This is the new code word, okay? Antec Smart Power Supplies suck.
What?
Yeah, that's a new code word. If you want $20, I want them to write down Antec Smart Power. This is the old days shit. This is a few years old. Antec Smart Power Supplies suck.
So you're using your power for social graph evil to push what your opinion is. And I will put in, okay, fine, I'll throw in $30, but I don't think it's right to be using people to do the, to you know, push a social agenda. We want to be careful about that.
All right. How many times I flashed the flashlight against the camera? They put the count number in that'll, how's that?
What's the phrase?
Huh?
You know what? Now we've confused everybody. Okay.
I wanted to say that yes, that's my point of the day. Is that these power supplies from Antec suck.
You know what? For this one, do what Bit said. If we ever do this again, though, it needs to not be an agenda. You know, it needs to be something just pointless and stupid. But we've confused people too much now. So for the purposes of making it make sense at this point, stick with what Bit said. You know?
Antec power supplies suck. Okay, there you go.
Okay, before we get too much crazier, we're going to go ahead and stop the video now. And see y'all next time. There may or may not be an iWorld or Linux this week, just depends on everybody's schedule. Head into the light, people. Head into the